Welcome, Jake from Feather Archery here in Hillsdale, Michigan. Let's take a look at an aiming drill that we can implement into our practice to help us be more consistent and have better accuracy in high stress situations. Before we do that, let's talk about the two typical ways that we see archers aiming in their shot process. The first one is focusing on the pin and then forcing that pin to the X or to our target. The second is going to be focusing on what we're trying to aim at and just letting that blurry pin float over top of that in our sight picture. The better of the two is going to be the latter, which is focusing on what you're trying to hit and letting that pin float over top of it. The reason that is once we're in a high stress situation and we're constantly moving that bow and we're focusing on that X, trying to get it to break over top of the X, we can do that and perform that fairly well in a practice situation, but you are commanding that shot. You're forcing that shot. It's not a surprise anymore. This will work fine in low stress practice situations for most people. This will break down in high stress situations. So to eliminate that, or to move away from that type of target panic or that situation, we want to focus on what we're trying to hit, because you can only focus on one thing at a time. With this drill, it will reinforce that. So in this procedure, what we are going to do is we are going to draw back on a fairly large target face at a fairly short distance. So we're going to be at 10 feet and we're going to be shooting at an 80 centimeter target. The reason that we want to shoot at a large target face at a close distance is to reinforce that as we manually force our pin off of the target into the 8 or 7 ring around this target, what we find is that when we focus on the center, focus on that X, our mind is going to bring that pin automatically back to the center of the target. And we're just going to let it float. You just keep focusing on that X like a laser. Just drill a hole right through that X. Execute your shot. So you're in control of your shot process. You're in control of your shot timing. Execute that shot. We're not worried about where the pin is at anymore. We are only worried about what we're looking at and the execution of our shot process. So now we're in control of the timing of our shot in every aspect. We're going to go ahead and repeat this procedure for 30 arrows at that 10-foot range, and then we're going to gradually move back and we're going to move to smaller target faces. So we're going to go ahead and knock our arrow, go through our shot process procedure, and during the aiming process we're going to manually move that pin off of the target, focus on that X, and just watch that pin come right back down. And it's just going to float right over top of that X and execute your shot. You will find that as you let that pin just float right over top of that X and just control your shot timing and your shot execution, you will hit the center. So move off of the X, focus, execute your shot. We want to go ahead and repeat this procedure to reinforce that this aiming method is more consistent in all situations, practice and in high stress situations. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out at featherarchery.com. Thank you.